Okay, Rabbi Sai, we're starting now Perek Shemona Shratzim. We did the Mishnah yesterday, but it's definitely there's definitely a need to repeat the Mishnah Du Chazoro. The Gemara we'll see today will need some little chart. Okay, good. Oh. The shir is Leilul Nishmas, my father Menachem Ben Akiva, Latzol Asklal Yisrael. Oh, good to see you, Reb David. Nice surprise. Okay, just say that. So today's shir is it's going to be a bit technical. You have a chart, you have the list of Shmona Shrotzim, and we'll break it down hopefully in a way that will be easy. Good evening, everybody. Shmona Shrotzim. Let's go straight into the Mishnah. There are 8 Shrotzim mentioned in the Torah. Shmona Shrotzim Amurim b'Torah. There are 8, I would call them small animals, some rodents, reptiles, these kind of animals. Yeah, and they are all mentioned in the Torah together. They are really mentioned regarding Tumah V'Tara. You should know. A sheretz is metame b'kadosha, right? That's a chumrah. A sheretz, even a small, very small size of the flesh of the sheretz, size of a dosha, is metame. Yeah, I'm not talking about Shabbos yet. I'm on purpose talking about Tumah. Now, you should know that the skin of animals is not metame. Let's say nevela, a cow's, as far as I know, a cow's skin is not metame, even if it's dead. And the skin of a sheretz, if it has skin, is not mitame, right? Then we have to remember and put it in the back burner. Just remember that as general information. Now we're talking about Shabbos, not about Tuma. So let's go. Shmona Shrotzim Amurim b'Torah, which we will mention all of them by name later. Hatzada v'achovel ben chayev, whoever traps them and whoever hits them and creates a bruise, then he's chayev. Why are you chayav if you trap them? Apparently, some people like to keep them as animals. I don't know why. And therefore, it's called minoi nitzoid. It's called a type of animal. It's not a crazy thing to hunt it. Yeah. If some people keep, like people keep, there's all kinds of things like today, hamsters, yeah, these kinds of animals or lizards, and people want them and they keep them. And therefore, it's a ma'aseh tzeidah that you're interested in, and it's a normal animal. And if you hit them, you're chayav. Hitting, believe me, we're going to discuss a lot today, so I'm not explaining now. If you hit them, the bruise is considered to be a permanent bruise. They have a layer of skin that the blood basically accumulates and collects underneath. And because it's called chabala, chabura, in modern Hebrew too, like in the Torah, chabura, the bruise, you chayiv. Other shkotzim eromosim, which are smaller and have no skin, imagine yourself ants, bees, mosquitoes. There's no harming them. Either you kill them, right, or you don't. They don't have a skin. You say now, I bruised them, and therefore I have a bruise. What do you mean bruise? They have like a very thin layer. And some animals are not as small as flies, but they're also considered to be, that layer has no skin. That's the idea. Even if you think they have a skin, it's so thin, it's not considered as the blood is collected there. Yeah, it's like nothing really happened unless the blood is out. That's something else. But if the blood is there and looks like a bruise, it's not really halachically a bruise because the skin is so thin, it's not really considered as something permanent and choshuv to say that the blood moved from the flesh to the skin. Because the skin is not really separate, it's like a bag of milk. It's either punctured or not. It's not choshuv enough to be called a layer by itself with the blood underneath. What? Okay? Fine. Now, atzadan l'tzorich chayev, shelo l'tzorich potur. A person who hunts and traps those funny shkotzim eromosim that most people are not interested in, only if you know for sure that he has a tzorech and it's not in a tzorich lagufa, and then although it's en b'minoi nitzoid, but he wants it, nobody traps for good purpose. I mean, trap, because you want them. Yeah, when you trap flies because you don't want them b'chlal, halavad they won't be here, and it's a chalagufa. If you happen to be somebody with that specific need, you want to dafka trap the bee, or you want to bees you want, but you want to trap a fly or a mosquito because you're doing some medical research on that. Fine. So only if you know it's letzorich, then you're chayiv. You get the difference? In the ratio, we said the assumption is that you need them. The assumption is it's normal to hunt them, the regular shmona shrotzim, the bigger ones, but the small, real fish, creepy crawly. These ones, unless we know it's letzorech, we assume that you're potter. Shalom letzorech potter. That's why I understand it at least. Chayev shebirshusoi hatzadan potter v'chovel ben chayev. Without going to details, you have a pet, you have a chayev an animal farm. yeah, chay or oif that are already in your reshus, but they're not 100% domesticated. Yeah, they would run away. Yeah, if they want to, they could partially run away, but it's potter. I mean, what I'm saying is very, very, very general. There are many, many levels to an animal which lives in the house. There's bnei tarbus, not bnei tarbus. If got used to the house, didn't get used to the house. There are many, many shades of gray. Let's say a new animal that's still not used to the home wants to run away all the time. So it's mamish tzeda. An animal that just hugs you and kisses you all the time, whatever, mamish, your pet, of course there's no tzeda. There are many gray areas. Let's say there's an animal which is chetzi chetzi. So the Mishnah, again, I'm not going into details, some chayiv oif, which is already in your domain, if you still need to catch them, yeah, you're potter because it's not mamish, a wild animal. It's a certain level of potter avaloser, which we'll discuss later, I hope, as Hashem. Since most animals like that are mammals or birds, they have skin, and if you hit them, you chai for creating a bruise. Why you chai for creating a bruise? We said three reasons in the Rishonim, Rashi, Tosfos, and Rambam. Rashi and Rashi Tosfos together and Rambam, and that is either because I'll start with Rambam. Rambam says dash because you extract the blood from its source, and therefore it's like milking a cow. It's like taking the chita from the chef, you're taking from its original place. And the other reason Rashi says shoichet, you're killing that place. It's like minimal killing. And the other one is because of tzaveh, says Rashi. If you want the color, you bruise and you want the bruise to be there, you're interested in the color, it's like you're dying. Yeah. Now it says in the Mishnah that those shmoina shrotzim, if you hit them and bruise them, you chayav. Okay, it's called a bruise michla. That is to say, the islahu or yeah, it's considered that halachically they have a layer of skin. Okay, man tana. Who is the tana that thinks that the shmoina shrotzim have a skin? Which means those shmoina shrotzim are smaller than cows and elephants, yeah, but they're bigger than ants and bees. So they have like a thin kind of layer of skin. The question is, do we consider that skin to be skin, a separate entity from the flesh? Yes or no? And these are two nafkaminas which are going to follow us through the whole shiur kimat. Regarding Shabbos, if you say that hitting them and you see a bruise, we consider that bruise as, oh, it came, let's follow the halacha of dash, yeah? It came from the flesh into the skin, boom, and it stops in the skin level, and you see the black mark. We consider that as moving house from the flesh to the skin. That is to say that they have a skin. But if you would say that those animals don't have a skin, and what you see, that thin layer you see is just, mirage, it's not real. Halachically, we don't recognize it as a separate thing, then it's not called chabura halachically. Right? If we say that the chabura is a chabura and I'm chayav chatas, it means that we view the skin. What about tuma? Also, regarding tuma, we see that the skin is not metame. A piece of skin of the dead sheret, only dead ones are metame, not live ones. I have a dead achbar, a dead mouse, and the skin of the dead mouse, right? Is it metame? Depends who you ask. Here we see in the Mishnah that they have a skin. So if the skin is a separate entity, then it's not metame. Remember, that's always you can get confused here. Remember, if it's a yes, which is a no. If it is considered a skin, Jason, then it is not metame, right? If it's yes a skin, then no tuma, and vice versa. Good. Then we can fly through. Mantana, who is the Tana that believes that those animals have a skin? It's Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. He's the only Tana who believes that the Shmona Shrotzim, their skin is really considered the skin. Let's see the Mishnah in Chulin, the Tanan. Soon we're going to the charts, Rabbi Isai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Omer, Shmona Shrotzim yesh len oirois. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says all 8 Shrotzim, halachically, technically, they have skins. It's considered the skin for what? For Tuma, and therefore the skin is not metame, and also for Shabbos, if you hit them, look, that's what the Mishnah says. It's called the bruise. Very nice. Who argue with him? Let's go to the chart. I'm not continuing now without the charts. Rabbi say, please look at the list. Yeah, look at the list. There are 8 shrotzim mentioned in the Torah. Yeah, by that order. You have it, no? You have a paper. Choyled achbar tzav. I'm skipping on purpose. Anoko koyach leto chomit and tinshemes. Right? And it says in the second pasuk, Eile hatmeim. What does it mean? with the exception of Tinchemis, which is the odd one out, Choyled Achbar Tzav are mentioned separately. Then the Torah stops with another word, and then it says Anoka Koyach L'Tor Choymet Tinchemis. On the second list, it says they have tuma. What does it mean they have tuma? Which means they are completely tome, the flesh and the so-called skin. If you say the skin is metame, it means it's not called skin. That's what Chachamim say in Chulin. You open Maseches Chulin, I did, I checked, and that's the Tinchemis is the odd one. Leave Tinchemis alone. Tinchemis, from some reason, belongs to the first group. From now on, we're going to have two groups. The Choyled group, because that's the first animal there, and the Anoka group. The Choyled group, they have skin, because the Torah doesn't say those special words about it. It's a regular animal, like a cow, like a dog, yeah. And the second group, Anoka Koyach L'Tor, yeah, these are the lizard, the monitor lizard, the choimet, the whatever. Choimet is whatever I forgot it's called in English. They don't have skin, right? That's what you have to remember. Okay, so Chachamim would say L'choira Chachamim are not our Mishnah. They are not the authors of our Mishnah, because our Mishnah said if you hit all eight, any of the eight, you are chayav, right? Chachamim say no. Only 4 out of the 8 have skin. But if I hit the Anoko, Koyach, L'Tor, Choymet, if I smacked any of them, even it looks like a bruise, Halacha doesn't recognize it as a bruise because they don't have a skin. It's still considered as part of the blood system. I don't care you see the black mark. We don't recognize it as a separate thing. So the Choira, the Hashkafa Rishono, and according to the first opinion, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri is the master of our Mishnah. He believes all 8 have skins, but Chachamim will say the last group has no skin, right? The second one. So on Shabbos, if you hit them, you're not chayav, nothing happened. That's a very, very good question, Akiva. The question is, thank you. What did Chachamim mean they have no skin? Either because technically the skin is thinner, or Xeris HaKosuv. The Torah said, listen, I don't view that as skin. Why? Heilige Kavunas, Kabule, Chasidus. I don't know. I said either because the skin is very thin, will be discussed later, and we really don't see that as choshev enough, or because exeris hakosov, as we'll see later. That's actually mamish the discussion soon. So the first opinion says only says the second opinion. Rabba bar Rav Huna Omarav afilu teim Rabbanon. Akiva, this is your question now. Even according to Rabbanon, our Mishnah can follow Rabbanon. Why? Ad kan lo tligi Rabbanon aled Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri ela le'inyan tuma, which means, Rabbi Yochanan and Chachamim don't argue in reality. Yeah, they don't really believe that the second group has no skin, and therefore for tuma, for Shabbos, for everything, it's nothing. No, really, like you're saying, really, they have a skin, and really for Shabbos, everyone, even Chachamim would say, if you hit them, their skin. You can't deny reality. So why did Chachamim say that the second group, why did we say that the Anoka group have no skin? No problem. Even according to Chachamim, we don't say that this is reality. It's Pachut Gzeras HaKosav regarding Tuma. Let's see how the Gemara says it. Dichtiv. It says, as I told you, Eile Atmeim Lachem. The second group, after the second group of the Anoka group, yeah, you have the paper next to you. L'Rabbi Sheosen Kibsoron. When the Torah said about the second group from Anoko and those guys, yeah, we say they are fully tome, the flesh and the skin, meaning there's no skin. L'Rabbi Sheosen Kibsoron, but it's only for Tuma that the or is like the boso. Only Gzeras HaKosav regarding Tuma, like you have Gzeras HaKosav regarding many things. Avalini and Shabbos, Afilu Rabbanon Moidu, period. When it comes to Shabbos, my friends, there's no Gzeras HaKosav in Shabbos, right? There is, but not here. In other words, Shabbos is a reality. Regarding Shabbos, Chachamim, they right away bend in front of Rabbi Yochanan and said, listen, Rabbi Yochanan, you're right. Comes to Shabbos, to the reality, is it a bruise or isn't it a bruise? You have to ask a veteriner. Yeah, we don't ask the Torah Kiviyachol. If you have a bruise, you have a bruise, and you do when it comes to Shabbos. Only regarding Tuma, there's a special thing. Zeras HaKosav to the second group, they have no Tuma. And the skin is considered to be nothing, Tuma V'tara wise. But for Shabbos, it's all the same. That's what Rav wants to say. That's Rav's statement, right? Quoted by the Rabbi Baravuna. Now the Gemara is going to attack this big time. Frag the Gemara. Are you sure that they don't argue regarding Shabbos? Are you serious? Are you really, really telling me that Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and Chachamim don't argue regarding Shabbos about what? Whether the skin is there or not there? Are you sure that Chachamim won't tell me also for Shabbos that the second group has no, it really has no skin? Look what the Brisa says. Vatanya. Now, Vatanya. Atzad echad mishmona shratzim. Says the Brisa, a person who hunts or traps one of the 8 shratzim, ha'amurim b'Torah, ha'choyvel ben chayev, or v'ha'choyvel ben chayev, divrei Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. The one who never changes, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. What does he say? Shabbos, anything, it's all the same, right? We all believe, says Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, not everyone, Shmona shratzim have skins, Shabbos, Tuma, anything you want, Yom Kippur, it's all, it has or, finished. Now, the Chachamim say, ain't all, listen carefully to the statement. We're going to change the statement 3 times over. Before we continue, you notice what I wrote in the chart. When that's very, very important. The Mishnah in Chulin there says, or maybe it's a Gemara later on, I remember, the Gemara says, Eilu shemonu chachamim ein lehem or. The second group, you see what I wrote in parentheses? Monu chachamim. Chachamim counted the second group. That's called the Manu chachamim group. Chachamim counted those 4 and said they have no skin. Okay? And they're super tome. The skin is tome, meaning it's not skin, it's flesh. Only flesh is metame, not the skin of the animals. Now, continues the Gemara. Listen to this. Chachamim oimrim ein or ela lemash manu chachamim. Yeah, there is no or except for those that Chachamim counted. Those that Chachamim counted have skin. Says the Gemara, it's wrong. Adrabah, that's not true. Lemash manu chachamim en lehem or. No, do your homework. It says in Chulin there that second list counted and elaborated by Chachamim, they have no skin. V'amar Abaye, so it does make sense. So, by the way, we didn't yet, it's going to take time to get Bichlal to the question on Rav, because we have to get our act together. Meaning the statement here is so topsy-turvy, we have to like misader what it says Bichlal, and then you can face Rav. Yeah? So now, V'amar Abaye says, easy solution. You know, Brises are not always so accurate. There's a reason why I didn't make it to the Mishnah. So it says, that's what the Brisa says. Ein or choluk mebosor ela lemasha lo imonu chachamim. Abaye adds one nice word, and the word is loy. In other words, the Brisa made a mistake, and really the or ein or choluk mebosor, the or is not different to the bosor. Ela lemasha lo imonu chachamim. In other words, you have to add the word loy to what you said before, and then everything is good. Why? Because that list, the chachamim, look at the chart, lo imonu chachamim, they have skin. Really, the Brisa told me you forgot to mention one word loy. No. And therefore, if you add the word loy, very nice. Those that have a skin are those that were not counted by Chachamim. The Choled group, Choled, you know Choled. Choled is the disgusting, horrible creature of flu. It's a big mouse. Not a rat, like a rat, the worst one. A weasel, an achba, mouse. Very nice. Says the Gemara, no, says Rove, yeah. Says Rove, no, says Rove, nishtazoi. Even if you want to fix the Brisa, you want to correct the Brisa, there's a limit how much you can fix the Brisa. Omer leRove, ha lemasha monu chachamim koma. You can't add the word lo is a mistake. Yeah? It's a very big mistake if you say tirtzach versus loy tirtzach, right? Let's tell you about someone, chas v'shalom, tirtzach. No, I forgot to say the word loy. You can't make such a the distance between the right version, wrong version can be so significant as yes or no, the word no. Therefore, says Rava, I'm gonna fix the pshat differently. Now Rava is getting somewhere. Says Rava, achikoma. This is what it says. Listen carefully. You know how double negative works. Minus is plus. Ein o metame keboso ela. What does it mean? Ein o metame keboso ela. Oir is as bad as bosor, meaning or is not anything. minus minus, meaning the only time we say skin is not skin, but is like flesh, meaning skin is no substance regarding tuma, is only mashamanu chachamim, and that's true. The second group is the one that chachamim counted, and that group, the group of the anal kokoch latochoimet, that group is counted by chachamim. Very good, and that group surely has no skin, right? Very good. Now the problem is as follows: who's Chachamim talking to exactly? Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. Now listen to the style, to the tone of Chachamim. What are they saying? Listen to what they're saying. They say, you know what? No. You know who are the only ones who don't have skin? Only these four. Let's say you hear Chachamim Chalila Lahavdil talking on the phone to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, and they tell him, only four of them have no skin. So it sounds like, what did he say? That nobody has skin. Chachamim are kilo limiting. Ein ella. No, only four have no skin. Mashma, he meant that nobody has skin. Yes, I tell you, no. Let's say offer me water. I have water, so I'm not hinting, yeah? Let's say tell you, no, bring me only 1 cup of water. No, only 1 cup of water. What is it, Mashma? You want to bring me 2 or 10, right? Bad news. Because Rabbi Yochanan is the one who said that they all have what? They all have skin, right? So yeah, does make sense. Frag the Gemara, Michal Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri hanachnami delomanu chachami metamin. And you want to tell me that according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, really he believes none of them has skin? What do chachamim say? Only 4 of them have no skin. Mashma Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri kilo saying that nobody has skin. Shtuyot, says the Gemara. Boom. Wrong style. You can't say Chachamim say only 4 has no skin. Kilo said nobody has skin. Verkehrt. He said everybody has skin. So the style should be different, the way Chachamim talk. It's better than Abaye, but still a long way to go. By the way, now we have a punchline of a question, right? Because what? Okay, so okay, I'll get there later. This is now the way to answer, and now that would be good also with the Rav. Listen to the answer. This is the final way to read the Mishnah. I told you 3 ways. That's the final way to read the Brisa. Listen to this. The Chachamim oimrim, simple. The inyan tuma ein or lema shemanu Chachamim. Chachamim say, listen, we have 2 issues here, Shabbos and Tuma. Regarding Tuma, we're telling you, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, ein or, not ela. Ein or lema shemanu Chachamim. That's simple. Instead of double negative, they say ein or, there is no skin to those shemanu Chachamim. Yeah? Meaning, you're telling me everybody has or? You're telling me all 8 animals have or? No. Ein or lema. Talk about later. Okay. Weiter. Okay. Now, okay. Beseder. Now says the Gemara Zoi. Oh, so now, 1 minute. Yeah. Now let's stop right now. Let's stop and see why everything is good as of now. What are we saying? Chachamim are telling Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, you're telling us regarding Tuma and regarding Shabbos, skin, everyone has skin. Say Chachamim, le'inyan Tuma, regarding Tuma, ain or l'mashman Chachamim. We think that half of these animals have no skin. Lamaisa, without us noticing, Rav is now doing okay. Because according to the last pshat, we say, regarding Tuma, we believe that 4 of them have no skin. Mashma for Shabbos, they all do have skin. And that actually is what Rav said all along. So now the question is not there anymore. However, now the question will start big time. We're Ki'ilu now siding with Rav, but this is only this is like this is like the jumping board for the question. Are you sure that you're right? The way you interpret the Brisa is they only argue for Tuma, but regarding Shabbos, everyone agrees that for Shabbos, everyone knows Chachamim and Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri that the Shmona shratzim have skin, and our Mishnah that said Shmona shratzim, if you hit them, Yuchayim, is also Chachamim. So far seems to be okay. Now comes the real question. Now that we sorted out the previous brisa and we know who's standing where, now we'll ask the real question. Vatanya. Hatzad echad mishmona shratzim amuri b'Torah. My friends, tzad is a concern of Shabbos or Tuma? Tzad is a concern of Shabbos. You trap the animal, any of the 8 shratzim. We have to say the. Achoyvel ben chayev. Oh, shmona shratzim. You hunt them, you hit them, you chayev. Sorry to disappoint you. B'shratzim sheyesh lein oiros. Not everybody. Only those shratzim that have skins, meaning some shratzim have no skin. And my friend, we're talking about Shabbos. You can't run away anymore. We're talking about Shabbos and clearly saying that some have skin and some don't. So you see Chachomim argue also regarding Shabbos, saying those animals that have skin, you have Chiyuv Shabbos. Okay. Now, we continue, before we answer, continues the Brisa, more bad stuff coming. How do you define a Chabura, as I said before, that does not quickly return to the blood cycle? Nitzrar hadam afal pishalo yotzo. Says Tanakama, in order to create a real Chabura, you hit the animal, and you have a layer of skin. The dam is nitzrar, like sro, collected, right? Like tien shmosot tzrura. The dam is collected under the skin, even though it didn't come out. If you bruise, then if you hit the animal, you cut it and blood comes out. Of course, you chayiv. If there's a bruise, depends. If it's quickly going back to the blood cycle because there's no skin, then you're not chayiv. If it's nitzrar, I don't know for how long, how thick the skin, but there's something real that happened. It's nitzrar dam, then you're chayiv. But they're clearly saying only those animals, only those shratzim that have skin. Mashma that they believe also regarding Shabbos, not just Tuma, that some animals don't have skin. Bad news for Rav, that now it's mamish against Rav. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, no. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, he never changes. Shmoyne shratzim eshlan oiros. Beautiful. Says Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, shmoyne shratzim have oiros. For Shabbos, for Tuma, for Chatnas, whatever you want. That's a question that's very bad for Rav, right? Omar Bashi, says Ravashi, now we're going to see that there are 3 opinions. It's really not confusing, but there's a 3rd opinion. Man Tanakama, you know who's the Tanakama that believes that even for Shabbos, some animals have skin and some don't? That's Rabbi Yehuda, the Ozil Bosar Gishta, which means, Rabbi Yehuda, now we're coming to the question which Akiva asked before. When Chachamim said these rodents, these shratzim don't have skin, what did they mean? In reality, or is it Gzeres HaKosov? Oh, so now is time for the birur. Says the Gemara like this: Rabbi Yehuda, he's the one who says, "I'm not looking Gzeres HaKosov. I'm looking at the gishta. Gishta means thick skin." Says Rabbi Yehuda, the animals that in reality, I look at reality. I asked the veterinarian, the guy with the PhD, who has thick skin, who has a thin skin, right? Those with the thick skin, they have thick skin in reality, and reality is what I care about, not Gzeres HaKosov. Both for Shabbos and for Tuma. Therefore, says Rabbi Yehuda, listen, I believe that for Shabbos, those animals that have real thin skin, Chabura doesn't apply to them. Only those with a thick skin, it applies to them. But that's Rabbi Yehuda. It's not the Chachamim we spoke about all the time. Chachamim we spoke about all the time. Back to our list. I'm now changing to the list. That when we said it's not because they really have no skin. It's because the Torah was goizer. Because it says after those animals, Eile have tmeim, that the skin is tomeh. I'm not asking questions. The Torah said that whether they have thick skin or thin skin, they are tomeh. And the proof is lato. The lizard, the lato, happens to have thick skin. It's the one with the thick skin. It's exception to the rule out of all 4. And yet Chachamim say, we don't care whether the skin is thick or thin, since all 4 are Gzeres HaKosov Eilat Mein, Eila, that's main. And we don't look at them as skin. But it says no. Now we're going to
as a result, pressure forces the weakened area to inflate, creating the bubble. And if you try to burst it, thinking it will fix the issue, you could end up causing serious damage or even a blowout. If you see this bubble on the tire, then
when people have crappy posture, they're often given the advice. Here are 6 push-up mistakes.
I don't know. 1 second. I'm sorry. Now we're going to see what we said. Yeah, Rabbi Yehuda says Rabbi Yehuda, Haleto kechulda. Get that? Rabbi Yehuda says, I don't look at the Gzeras HaKosuv. I don't just group them by two groups where the Torah says. I look at reality. Since Lato has thick skin, therefore, in reality, it belongs to the first group of the thick skin animals, the Chulda, Achbar, Tzaventin, Shemes, right? So that's Rabbi Yehuda of the Brisa. The one who says in the Brisa, some animals have skin and some don't, that is Rabbi Yehuda. Aval Rabbonon de Pligale do Biochanan Linan Tuma Linan Shabbos Moidule. Very, very good. But those Chachomim who said regarding Tuma, they have no skin, it wasn't reality. It was Gzeras HaKosuv. Gzeras HaKosuv was only regarding Tuma. So those four animals, as Rav said all along, I don't know why, thick skin, I don't care about the size, extra large or minus, doesn't matter. The skin of the four other ones is not considered for Tuma Gzeras HaKosuv, it's not skin. But for Shabbos, they would agree to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri that all eight of them have skin because there's no Gzeras HaKosuv regarding Shabbos, only regarding Tuma. So if you hit any of the eight, you're chayiv just like Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. So now all of a sudden really two groups. Rabbi Yochanan and Chachamim regarding Shabbos, they say all Shmona Shratzim. That's our Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Let me check the science. Says Rabbi Yehuda. I want to see the one with thick yes, the one with the thin no. That's Rabbi Yehuda. Regarding Tuma, Chachamim said you Gzeras HaKosuv. Some animals don't have skin for Tuma, but our Mishnah, like Rav said, follows everybody. All eight animals have enough skin regarding Shabbos to say you're chayiv. Both Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and Chachamim. Now, Frag the Gemara, a small question now. If so, the style of the Brisa does make sense. Hi, Div Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. So why did you tell me this is Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri's words that says about Shabbos that you chayiv on all eight? Div Rabbi Yochanan mechlukta mi ba'alei. The Brisa should have said Rabbi Yochanan and his friends. He's not alone. Actually, most of the Chachamim regarding Shabbos are with him. 99% of Tanoim are in Rabbi Yochanan's camp. They all believe that regarding Shabbos, all eight animals have skin, and if you hit, you're chayiv. Answers the Gemara, you have to fix the Brisa. Tshni, you should learn. Very, very nice. Wow. Let's summarize. According to the second opinion to Rav, this is what comes out. Comes Shabbos, all eight animals have skin. In reality, let's leave Rabbi Yehuda on the side for a second, okay? The vast majority of Yochanan ben Nuri and everybody else, Kimat, say, regarding Shabbos, eight rodents, whatever, eight shratzim, they have skin. You hit them, boom. There is Chabura, that's Nitzrar, and therefore you're chayiv. Tuma is a different story. Don't compare Tuma to Shabbos. We said before, Tuma Shabbos Karomis. Tuma Shabbos is not the same. Regarding Tuma, we have Gzeras HaKosuv, Eilat Tumein. Because Hashem said Tuma is different. So the four letter ones, they have no halacha of skin, and therefore the skin, it's all metame, like the basar. It's all one and the same, only for Tuma. That's really all. And Rabbi Yochanan says he doesn't believe in Gzeras HaKosuv. Rabbi Yochanan says no, they have skin for Shabbos, for Tuma, for whatever you want. Rabbi Yehuda is a third shita. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Listen, I always test things scientifically speaking, and therefore Shabbos also comes to Shabbos. No, I believe that the four first ones are thick-skinned. Letah happens to be also thick-skinned, and therefore the letah too should be in the thick-skinned ones, and you be chayiv if you hit it. The one with the thinner skin, you're potter. That's what he believes. Very good. Levi asked Rebbe, how do you know that the halachic definition of a chabura is dafka a chabura that does not bounce back, that doesn't heal quickly? Maybe chabura of, a few minutes is also chabura. Look, it says in a Novi, in Yirmiyahu, hayafoch kushi oiroi, will the black person change his skin, v'nomer chavaburoisov, literally means, will the leopard, the tiger, change its spots? We think chavaburos are the spots, meaning Yirmiyahu is complaining that we're not changing. In other words, I think, if I remember correctly, it says, Yirmiyahu says, you guys are not changing. Elul, we're not changing. Let's change our skin and our neshama. Says the Gemara, wait a minute. What do you mean chavaburosav? Is it like I just said now? Rikmi. If you mean the natural black spots of the tiger, of the cheetah, whatever that is, the tiger, is it so? It doesn't make sense. I know, but nomer chavar buroisav. Which word is chavar buroisav? Nomer gvonov mi boile. Should say the colors. The skin, the leopard or whatever, the tiger doesn't change its colors. What's chavar buroisav? Ela kikushi. Ma or the kushi and choseres. Just like the black person's skin doesn't change, it remains the same. Af chaburo. Oh, nomer, says Rashi, is not a tiger. Nomar, like we saw in Perek Rabbi Kiva, namar means gone. Yeah, Namar reichoi. Namar is to go out, to dissipate, into thin air. Eina choseres. Nomer chavar boroisov. In other words, a chabura that's nomer is not real chabura, right? Yeah, a real chabura is one that's not nomer. Chavar boroisov is a chabura that's nomer chabura. It's not a real chabura. A real chabura is the one that stays. Weiter. Let's see how much we can continue. Only one more minute. V'sh'ar shkotzim. What did we see? That if you hit them, then you are potter because there's no hitting. If you hit an ant and you cut a little bit of the ant, there's no chabura. So you're potter. Medayik the gemore ahorga and chayav. Let's say you killed a what? An insect on Shabbos. We don't like to if they come around. You chayav. Sounds like if you kill an insect b'chavono, you chayav chatos. Is that so? Mantana. Who's the one who thinks that killing such a small animal is considered as a chiyuv d'oraisa? Amar Bima Rabbi Elazar. It's the opinion of Rabbi Elazar. The Tanya says Rabbi Elazar, which we saw this already in Daf Yud Beis Yud Gimel. Yud Beis. Hahoyre kina b'Shabbos. A person who kills a louse on Shabbos, kihoyre gomel b'Shabbos, which means regardless of the size. And later on, we're going to see regardless of the fertility of the way it's born, killing the smallest animal, it's as if you killed the biggest animal. The animal kingdom, all the same. Whichever one you killed in Shabbos, even a tiny louse, you chayv b'Shabbos according to Rabbi Elazar. Okay, and therefore, only Rabbi Elazar is the one who says that killing insects you chayv. Mashma, according to Chachomim. If you kill a louse, and according to the Havamina, a small animal, a mosquito, a mite, all these, you are potter. Maskif Rav Yosef, no, you got it wrong, says Rav Yosef. No, I'll attack you. It's not because of the size. It's because the way they procreate, the way the procreation. Adkan lo pligo banon le Rav Elazar le bekina. Chachamim don't argue about all the small insects in the pater. Only kina the eina poro v'rova. This is a very famous Gemara that the louse they don't regenerate with a husband and wife, but it's born naturally. That's an interesting discussion in science. In any event, because kina is so different to any other normal animals, you're not chayiv if you killed it. Other animals that they procreate normally, the male and female bee, let's say. Everyone agrees, loy pligi. They all agree that even though it's small, you're chayiv. It's not about size; it's the way that it's created. Everyone, both opinions, they compare to elim, which is the animals that was shechted in the mikdash. Ablezer says like elim, ma elim shesh b'netilas neshama. Of course, shesh b'netilas neshama. Ablezer said, listen, you killed a creature. I don't care if it's a big ayil, ram, or it's a small, tiny animal. You killed it. You're chayiv. The Chachamim say no, but it's not the Kelim. Mailen Poem the Robin, of called the Poem of we have to stop here. I'm sorry. Yeah, only things that Poem of like the Isle, but small animals that happen not to procreate normally, yeah, they're not chayv on the